How many oceans have you crossed looking for something that a single drop could have told you? There is a hunger we carry, ancient and unnamed, a thirst not of the body, but of the soul's disconnection from itself. And in that thirst we chase the vast, the grand, the endless. We go further and deeper, hoping that meaning lives where the waters are louder. But the ocean doesn't always answer. It drowns. No one told you the simple is sacred, that the small can be whole, that silence speaks. So you walked and searched and sailed, believing depth was measured in distance. You called it growth, but sometimes it was just running away. Until one day the tide no longer moved and there was only stillness. In that stillness, a drop fell, and it was enough. He was made of longing, not the kind that asks for more, but the kind that remembers something lost. He left not because he wanted the world, but because he had forgotten how to stay. Each place he reached offered him pieces of himself, and he collected them like treasures from a map he no longer believed in. He asked questions with eyes wide open, but the answers only grew quieter. The more he sought, the more the silence deepened, not as punishment, but as invitation. He went through storms thinking they were signs. He trusted waves that never asked for trust. And still, something in him refused to turn back, until he reached a shore where no voice called. Only a single drop touched his chest. And in that touch, the journey began again, this time inward. It made no sound. It had no urgency. But inside it, everything was written. It did not teach. It remembered. It did not move. It awakened. There are things you can only hear when you've stopped screaming. There are truths so simple they disappear in the noise. The drop carried no instructions. It offered no direction. Yet it contained a weightless knowing. You are not lost. You are not broken. You just forgot to listen. He sat still for the first time in years. And in that stillness, he felt the world shift. The ocean did not roar. It exhaled. And he understood something he couldn't explain, not because he had found the answer, but because he no longer needed one. He believed that stopping meant failure, that slowing down meant weakness, that rest was for the defeated. So he swam harder, dove deeper, convinced that peace lived just beyond the next wave. But the ocean reflects, and what he saw in its surface was his own unrest, the fear of stillness, the ache of always needing more. He mistook movement for meaning and waves for progress. But not all tides lead somewhere new. Some return to the same shore until you see it differently. The lesson was not in the miles traveled, but in the surrender to where he was, not in collecting more, but in shedding what he didn't need. When he stopped chasing the sea, he began to remember the sky. He stopped swimming, not in defeat, but in trust. He let the water carry him not toward a goal, but into presence. He did not command the ocean. He listened to it. And in that listening, a wave arrived. Not large, not loud, but true. It held in its curve the rhythm of all things: rise, fall, return. And within that wave, a single drop lingered. You searched for the sea, it said, but you were always made of it. The turning point wasn't grand, it was invisible. But it was real. He came back. Not as someone who had conquered the sea, but as someone who understood the tide. His eyes no longer chased horizons. They rested in what was near. He walked slower, breathed deeper, trusted quieter things. Now when waves come, he doesn't ask where they lead. He simply feels them. He no longer fears stillness. He welcomes it. He knows that depth is not in distance, it is in presence. Mantra phrase: not all that is vast holds more than what touches. Comment below. I too am learning from the drops. It wasn't the ocean that healed him. It was the moment he stopped needing to be healed. The drop, the wave, the quiet. All of them offered something the vastness never could. Remembrance. That meaning is not a destination. It is a return. That the soul does not live at the end of the world, but in the beginning of silence. If you have been seeking endlessly, If you are tired of not arriving, pause. Let the drop touch you. Let the wave remind you. Sometimes it takes an entire sea to find what was always within. Continue your spiritual walk with the hidden path. Each story is a mirror, each silence a guide. The next drop is already falling.